for we are gathered to make that of good choice. Beloved ones, I have much messages. It is on this day I wish to speak to you about where it is you come from, what it is that God has brought you forth into being, why it is that God has granted each and every one life in being. It is, beloved humanity, that each soul comes forth issued from that of the one great omniscient presence God, the great omniscient divine source of all being. Each and every soul is but an aspect of spirit which has split in its diverse nature to express in physicality to create life. Who man, spirit manu, God man manifestation. It is through many eons, much of history has been tainted by that of others' perceptions in being. Therefore, in its ability to grant each and every human being that of an individual choice in learning. Yet it is, beloved ones, I come hither to say unto you that all paths lead back unto that of God, the great omniscient divinity, Father, Mother of all being, that which is in balance of itself and accepts itself exactly as it is, that of creator, destroyer, that of positive and negative, coming together, that of light and dark, merging together to create life. So it is, on this day I have come forth to say unto you all that each and every one of you is a precious divine child of God's love. So it is, the great omniscient divine spirit of all life has granted each and every one of us a physical embodied state in being. This which is now before you is that of mine physical embodied state. As you yourself have that of an individual aspect in persona of being, so it is I am Mikael has that of mine own physical embodied aspect in being, my own persona of physicality. Many nowadays claim to use my titles, claim that I am channeling through them, when in truth it is only aspects of mine ray, the blue ray, which they touch upon through their own conscious choice in being. It is, beloved ones, that I am not greater or lesser than you be. So it is, through that of many incarnate states, I have come forth hither now in a component form to bring forth to humanity an offering of a grail, a cup of peace, that of an offering for humanity to unite in love and friendship, and to put aside that of their hatreds and indifferences, so as they may all come to realize just how divine, just how important they are. For it is, beloved, beloved humanity, each and every one of you is that of a physical conscious response of great collective spirit God. Through history, God has been granted many names and titles through the perception of the organ of the brain of each human. So it is, this has created in the human species much separation, much division, much worry, and much stress unto each one. It is now time to realize that each and every one of us comes hither forth only through God's will, and it is that God has granted each and every one of us the organ of the brain to think with, to make choices with. So it is, I say to you now, that whence it is time for God, the great collective spirit, to call us all home, which means when it is that we give up this mortal toil, our physical body, we all become at one with Spirit, God. For it is beyond the physical, we need not the organ of the brain to make choices with, to create an individual persona, to create more illusion. It is when your soul returns back to God's Spirit, there is no need for the brain to clutter up your existence. It is that we all become at one, and in that oneness we become in eternal bliss of Spirit God. So it is, beloved ones, now time to place things into order, to look on life, to look on that of astral as the collective dream state of the mass of humanity. While it is, we continuously drift onto astral matters, we create within ourselves much illusion of life, therefore creating the shirking of our own responsibility in being and overlooking the very simple fact that God has granted us all life and that through God's grace it is that we is. So it is now, beloved humanity, the time for each and every one, no matter what your belief, no matter what culture, no matter what race, no matter what creed you belong to, it is to realize and recognize that each and every single human being is a divine conscious aspect of the living God. Shalom. What is occurring now, beloveds, is an embodied state of my being. It is that of mine physical persona, Michael Edward Mark Scott the man, is that of collective journey through incarnations, which composes that of mine energy and physicality, and it is through the soul of this one that I speak. It is not as others call channeling, for he and I are one. What is occurring now is that of his collective soul journey. I, Mikael, is now speaking to you. I speak in English, that language, for it is that of the native tongue of mine embodiment. Should it be that God graces you to come unto my presence and I unto yours, it is that whence you are in mine energy, I can sit in silence with you and you will understand everything on a soul level. I only use the words now to communicate with you through this manner of being, my physical embodied state, so as I can talk to you as human to human. We are working on it. What is occurring now is the first step. I have had 2 private films taken before in nowadays videos that are only for my embodied state's personal use. This is the first video where you can actually say that Mikael is coming out of the closet, so to speak. Beloved ones, the month really matters not to me, for it is through soul and through spirit all time emulsifies as one. So it is at this time of history I come forth to speak to humanity, because that of much chaos and turmoil is occurring in the human family. It is while we as a collective species human cling tenaciously to old ways and old belief patterning, we are placing around our neck, and for that of future generations, that of a great weight of stress likened to a mighty rock around our necks. It is now time for the veil to be lifted. It is now time for humanity to come out of their slumber and realize the divine in all things. It is now time to stand up and be counted unto God through thine individual self. When this occurs, that of the collective will unite. It is simple. For it is each and every one of us is born of a father and a mother. That which represents the masculine and feminine of Spirit God, the great omniscient divinity. And so it is, our lives may take different paths where we experience many different diversities in life. Yet it is when it comes down to the final act, that of the giving up of the physicality, when God calls, not through that of the own choice, but through the overall choice of God, thence it is you will come to realize that we all come in the same way and we all go out the same way, through that of cessation of life. So it is to come to realize that without that of the seed of the Father, without that of the nurturing of the Mother, then it is we simply would not be. So it is now to recognize that every single person you look at has exactly the same emotions as you do. So it is some may be unbalanced in their state of consciousness, and that of their emotional level is unbalanced. These ones are only responding to the easement of their being. So it is now to come to realize, to give love from your heart unconditionally, is that which will cure many diseasements. We are all from one creative source. This many of you have heard before. Yet it is, beloved ones, that were you to take that of a magnifying glass, that of a microscope, and look at your body, you will see that inside yourself and on yourself, you are a living, breathing, walking, active miracle. That each and every one is a divine universe unto their own being, existing within a grander universe, and that universe exists within an even grander universe in being. that of the great omniscient divinity, that which I call God, is that which is all universes, all forms, yet is no universe and no form, and is all titles and all names, and no name and no title. God is the all that is and was and shall ever be. So it is now time, no matter what we believe personally, to realize that each and every one comes hither through that very same source. So it is to bring us together to realize what it is all about, is to understand that we are all aspects of the one being. Shalom. Touch upon that of the heart. Touch upon that of the emotion of the heart, and come to realize that you are not the only one that cries. You are not the only one that laughs. You are not the only one in existence. Then place that of your emotional, heartfelt presence and look at it upon the shoulders of another. For it is these ones who create individual separation through the want of superiority and control over the mass of humanity. They are living that of an illusion. For it is they place themselves above due to egocentric belief other beings. They tend to think that their way is the only way and the right way. As soon as any think that, then it is they are losing the so-called plot. For it is, beloved ones, some may have more religious experience, some may have more spiritual